Welcome everyone to another episode of How the Hell Did This Go Number One? And I think the real question is, why the hell did you pick this, Andrea?
Jeez. Because you know what, Kirk? You picked some terrible songs, and I thought it was my turn to return the favor.
Oh, you
and then I regretted
right between the eyes on this one.
This isn't terrible. This is just, I don't know what material we've got. So for those,
I have very little to say about this.
Oh yeah, you picked it. This is a first. This is not exactly like The Singing Nun, where we could have done a whole like giant miniseries on that whole thing. But we are looking at, and obviously you all know because you clicked on this, people, Vangelis, who I'm thinking might be the only Greek-born musician to go number one in the United States. I didn't check. It's got to be true. Who else?
I can think of no one.
Nah, I got nothing.
Well, unless George Michael was born in, it doesn't matter. Maybe only Greek, pure Greek artists. Let's just go run with that. And he went number one with the instrumental Chariots of Fire.
Also called?
Titles. How boring of a name can you call your song?
Exactly.
It is literally like, the opening titles.
It's like naming your restaurant, what was it, Checkers?
Or Eat.
Yeah, eat. Food.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Food.
Vangelis. All right, so where do we start? This was his biggest hit, but I actually like this guy. Before you came on, Brad and I were sort of talking a little bit. Vangelis is a very important cog in the history of synthesized music. So,
not to be confused with Van Morrison, different Van.
Or Van Halen.
Or Free Candy Van.
Or Van Hagar.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about Bruno either, but let's continue.
No.
So this was his, God, I'm the one who's got to bring this together. This is, you know we're in trouble when. But at this point, Vangelis he was really hitting it. I don't want to say big because this is a guy who really didn't care about that. Although I found it interesting that he was at one point considered to replace Rick Wakeman in Yes, which would explain why there is an album that I did sort of like where he collaborates with John Anderson of Yes. So it's a very, very interesting sort of album, The Friends of Mr. Cairo. Check that out. But that did not go number one. That was not even a hit. That was nothing. This was a monster hit, but then why? Instrumentals, it's hard enough for them to get number one. It does happen. But now from a British film that apparently did exceptionally well in the box office, made 60 million, which was a lot of money back then. I don't know anyone who's seen it, including the three of us.
No, I didn't bother with it. I have never seen it. The only thing I know about that movie are the clips from the video.
When you two eventually meet in person, I would really like to just have you slow-mo run toward each other and we'll play that song.
Deal.
Only if it ends in a warm embrace, just like,
well, that was a given.
Curled in each other's arms while our stubble and beard interlock like Velcro.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, she didn't say have a spasm.
Are you okay? Are you smelling burnt toast?
No, the signs of a stroke.
Burnt toast? Some kind of
dun, 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 dun. So I gotta say though, I mean the song itself, for a classical-ish composition, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not a bad song. And he also, didn't he do the music for Blade Runner?
He did. He did Blade Runner.
He
did County.
Got an interesting catalog that spans between electronic music and classical Greek music and
brilliant
classical music. So, he's pretty fascinating.
So I was thinking back
understand.
Then, well, I was thinking, like, how does this happen? And right now, it's short attention span theater. When we were younger, back in the olden days,
I was wearing an onion on my belt.
Yes.
So that was the style at the time.
Well, but we didn't have the 24-hour news cycle. And when you had a movie that came out, there was 3 cycles to it. Movie gets released in the theaters. then eventually it's going to make its way into the video store.
Oh, you forgot about the important step in between those two.
What?
Discount movie theater. I used to love the discount movie theater.
So I didn't have one growing up.
There might still be one in Victoria, but it might have closed down. It was like a massive Quonset hut style building around Quadra, and
it's a regular movie theater now.
It was so good.
Yeah,
that was like the place to go to see Rocky Horror.
It's got a giant fiddle leaf fig in the atrium.
Well, sold. After that, then eventually it'd make its way into TV, and then later on it would be pay TV and then regular TV. So a movie like this, it's in the public speak for a long time. Right now, Top Gun is the #1 movie out. That's not going to. In a couple of weeks, somebody's going to be talking about everything else, and it's not. And everyone who wants to see it will find a way to see it.
Yes. What year is it again?
1986.
It is, okay.
We're redoing 1986.
Okay.
Apparently.
Just wanted to make sure, because Top Gun is #1.
Kate Bush is #1, and Kate Bush was never #1.
No, I mean, good for her, because that's a great track.
It is a great track.
I mean, any Kate Bush song, as far as I'm concerned.
No, but
her voice is amazing.
It is amazing, but I can only take it in small doses.
Oh, you're one of them.
I don't know what that means, but yes.
Neither do I, but I figured you'd admit to it if I accused you of it.
Well then, if the shoe fits.
Yes.
We'll run with that.
Going on about this track. Now, I listened to it several times, because I listened to it with no video. I listened to it with the video. It's not a movie that, if you didn't have any prior ideas about it, or it's not a song, sorry, if you didn't have any prior ideas about it, you would associate with running. But now it's associated with Olympics. I mean, it's relaxing.
It's an unofficial Olympic anthem.
Yeah,
like,
you could very easily be doing like, I don't know if Kirk, I don't know if you're familiar. Andrea, you probably are. But you could very easily be going through a hydropath at a resort and listening to this. You know, it's not Tubular Bells or anything like that, but it's something that's, vaguely, it's not put you to sleep music at all, but it's not something that's, going to keep you awake either. It's pretty relaxing. It's pretty chill. Not something you associate with a movie about competitive running.
But here's the other interesting thing, I think, when we're looking at that. Yeah, I agree with you totally. I was going to make a similar point. One of the first people I ever had the pleasure of talking to, who's now since passed away, a guy named Charles Connor. He was the original, one of Little Richard's, or actually he was Little Richard's original drummer.
Oh, cool.
Little Richard asked him to come up with a drum sound like a train. And that riff would actually later be used by Led Zeppelin, who stole virtually everything on Rock and Roll. That opening, that was Charles Connor. He did that.
Oh, cool.
He came up with that, and he was tasked by Little Richard. Okay, I want you to play like you're hearing a train. So that's what he tried to figure out how to do. When I'm watching this or listening to it, I don't know. I can't figure out for the life of me Vangelis' thought process of how this sounds like running. So I talked to people who are runners. Clearly, I'm not.
Well, really?
Yes.
You're so lithe and graceful, though.
Says the other lithe and graceful person on the show. But
100% here.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about that.
But one thing though that my friend did say, he said, like, I get into this rhythm, and I just like hearing my feet on the pavement. Now, that's apparently Vangelis' dad also was a runner, obviously not to the degree of the people of discussing this movie, which, for those who give a shit, it's about the 1924 Olympians from Britain. One of them who's racing for the glory of God, one because, well, he suffered Jewish persecution. I don't know. I didn't watch the movie, and I don't plan to.
I don't know of anybody who's watched the movie. For a movie that won a buttload of Oscars, so Vangelis won for the soundtrack.
He didn't go.
He didn't go. He was out drinking in London.
Afraid of planes.
But then also they beat out Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah,
They
not
beat
cool.
out Cannonball Run, For Your Eyes Only.
Wait a minute, Cannonball Run for an Oscar? Cannonball Run was
It outgrossed Cannonball
I was
Run.
gonna say, like, what goddamn Oscar did Cannonball Run win?
Hey, come on, that's a great movie.
I like it
Speaking
too.
of the Oscars on this one, we have to go back to what Andrea had said about it being a buttload of Oscars.
A buttload of Oscars.
The other day,
For
I
things
actually
nobody
learned.
fucking watched.
I learned
Somebody
the other day that your anus can dilate to approximately 7
Big
inches.
enough to fit Oscar up there.
7 inches.
I'm sure Oscar's been up someone's butt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kevin
But-
Spacey.
So yeah, Kevin Spacey, 100%. 7 inches, apparently, without experiencing any massive trauma. Now, that being said, I also learned at the same time in the same Reddit thread that raccoons can squeeze into a hole approximately 3.5 inches wide, which means you can fit 2 raccoons.
Richard
in
Gere.
He only had a gerbil up there.
Minor leagues, my friend. You can get
That's
2
minor leagues.
raccoons and possibly a Jolly Rancher in your butt.
You don't want raccoons tearing their way out of your anus.
Andrea would know.
No, I wouldn't. I'm just common sense here dictates.
I think you'd have to
Putting
lobster claw their
raccoons up your
paws.
butt is a bad idea.
You
I
totally
I
have
hope
to
my mother
lobster
never
claw their
watches
paws.
this show.
Of all the tangents I thought we could possibly go, this was, I believe, as the kids say, not on my bingo card.
So how many raccoons is equal to how many Oscars? Because we have the math now.
I would say if a raccoon, I don't know how big an Oscar is. Like they seem like they're about probably,
I'd say like a foot tall, maybe.
I think they're about 8 inches tall, 10
Okay.
inches, and probably about 3 inches around
So
until
you
you
could probably
get
get 2
face.
Oscars.
You could get 2 to 3 Oscars.
So a
for-
buttload of Oscars is 2 to 3 Oscars.
Well, okay, but it depends on the butt.
That's
So we're
true.
going
And
with Brad's
Okay, 'cause-
7-inch without doing any damage.
my 7-inch what?
I'm trying, like, who's the biggest Oscar winner in terms of ass? Brandon.
Okay, so let's go back to
J-Lo.
We'll go back to this later. This
It's gonna be J-Lo.
J-Lo never did J-Lo ever win an Oscar?
I don't know, but she's got an Oscar-worthy ass.
just because she's got some badongadonk doesn't mean it can accommodate multiple Oscars.
Yeah, because I think she might have the great ass, but I think that butthole's puckered pretty tight.
Fair.
I do. I really do. And
Yeah,
I,
you
I
thinking
mean
that nobody-
metaphorically.
Nobody plays in the backyard there?
No, I'm not saying they might play.
I mean, I don't think her milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
you know. All right.
So going
Let's
back to the
go
actual
back
song.
To the song, and the
Monique. It's
Oscars,
Monique. She
not
would
up your
have the
butt.
biggest butt when she won. She's lost a lot of weight, but okay. Go on.
All right.
So this movie won a lot of Oscars,
Buttload.
including best it wasn't, I think the song charted about 68 before the Oscars, and it was only once he won did
The
it
Oscar
actually
bump.
yeah, it was the Oscar bump.
Which cannot happen now, because again, the whole cycle of a film is very, very quick. I mean, look at the MCU. We talk about the MCU all the time, and now it's reached the point where every 3 months there's new content. There's no point in having a movie that will capture. And this movie didn't capture, but the song did. 2 years later, it was spoofed in 2 movies in 1983. Mr. Mom, I don't remember that, but I did remember Vacation.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
So there are people right now who know this song is about running, but have no idea what Chariots of Fire is. And did any of you see the official video that Vangelis did?
Oh yeah, he starts off the smoking, he puts down the cigarette.
Athlete. right? But I mean, it's the same thing as when this was before you joined us in the before times. When we looked at, remember when we did Jan the Miami Vice theme?
Yes.
Right, and it was pretty much the video was the same thing. It was like Jan just looking at clips of Miami Vice, and then he's just inspired.
So speaking of similar songs here, was I the only one who got massive Friday the 13th vibes off of this song? Because as soon as it's dun 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 dun, I'm like,
Man, which one predated? When was Friday the 13th out?
Friday the 13th. Oh, I
think later in the 80s.
Later in the 80s?
To the Google machine.
That started pretty early though. So okay.
1980.
Oh.
First one came out 1980.
Well, okay. Well, I was wrong. I maybe he plagiarized it. Apparently,
also wrong. Occasionally, it happens.
Yeah. Well,
so he didn't actually plagiarize a damn thing, and there was a whole lawsuit about that.
I read that. Yeah. I did find the one that he claims that he, or the person, another Greek person, whose name I cannot pronounce, and I'm not even going to try. But I did find that
George Stroumboulopoulos.
No, wrong era.
Stroumboulopoulos. George Papadopoulos.
Leave Strombo out of this.
No, wait a minute. That was Webster's dad.
Webster. Oh man.
Yes.
So yeah, there's not a hell of a lot that's really interesting. I mean, there was the lawsuit, there was the, like, Andrea, you picked a stinker this one.
I did. And I did it to punish mostly Kirk. But we can't do great songs all the time, and we've just done a few good songs.
I don't think this is
friendly
a bad
fire,
song.
Andrea. Friendly fire.
I don't want people to think, okay, well, people can think whatever they want.
Brad, you were collateral damage. I'm sorry, but so was I. I had to deal with this too.
This song isn't that bad. It's just a
one it's that just number one unremarkable.
In a weird era, because we've looked at the early 80s before. There's a lot of strange number ones before things got very, you could pick your patterns. Like now, okay, so what's going to go number one? Oh, is it a rap song with a singing bridge, or is it a singing bridge with a rap with a rap? Whatever. It's the same thing over and over.
Yeah. Is it a sing song with a rap bridge or a rap song with a sing bridge?
Thank you. All right, I wasn't wording that very well, and I'm not.
You're very good at English, Andrea.
No, well, thank you.
I speak occasional good.
Well, also your Kirk to English calculator.
It's had a few years to hone itself.
That's true.
The word you're looking for is translator.
Now, here's what you're looking for next week. You ever see Mystery Science Theater? I feel like I'm sort of like,
yes, of course. I've seen Mystery Science Theater.
All right. I feel like I'm TV's Frank here, now unloading sort of this shitstorm on you next week. I found a song. I told Brad a little bit about it, but only what I know, which is not much of anything. I can't find too much, and I didn't really look that hard, but I know it's an awful, awful song. I forgot even the name of the person who sings it. Mary something or other, but it's called Torn Between Two Lovers.
It's how you feel, Andrea, when you're here with us.
Between two lovers,
you two are basically the same person,
so not torn at all, really.
Not torn at all. I'm just happy that neither one of you are like, you're both far away. What year is this?
Mary McGregor, that's who it is. Mary McGregor, 1976, the year of shit. The worst year for music at all. It's
1973 was bad.
So you will now research someone I could find virtually nothing about, and we can just really rip apart this song, which I think is god awful. Of course, every time I say that, one of you seems to really like it. Which one is it going to be?
I don't think it's going to be me.
It's gonna be May. No, it's not going to be May.
No, it's not May.
Well, that's the shit pile we've got, but I can guarantee you this. When we do this, sooner or later, somebody is going to tell us that we need to crawl back in a crevice because we insulted their favorite 70s act.
Wait, is this a feminine anthem?
I don't think so.
Then we'll probably be not told to crawl in.
Obviously about a woman being Eiffel Towered by two very girthy gentlemen.
That might be.
There's torn. She's between the two lovers.
Torn apart by two lovers? No, that was something.
Well, it could be, a little bit of rippage.
Crack that
You
rippage.
need to get Bill involved if it's about an Eiffel Tower.
All right. Well, this has totally gone off the deep end. Not the first time, not the last time.
You know what? You got to have some fun with these songs because honestly, there wasn't much else to say if we didn't go off the deep end.
No, without raccoons in butts, this thing would have had nothing.
If raccoons and butts were nuts,
we'd be it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey guys, did you know I wrote a book?
How many Oscars could you shove up your butt?
You're asking me?
No, I'm not. I don't want to know.
We should ask the people who are watching, how many Oscars or raccoons could you fit into your anus?
Please message us
Full-size
on whatever
raccoons,
platform
it's gotta be
and let us
full-size.
know how many raccoons and or Oscars you could shove up your butt. Please, nobody in my family be watching.
You're about to get real intimate real quick.
Liberace, no, he didn't win an Oscar.
No, didn't Liberace actually sing this song at the Oscars?
No, he didn't sing it because there's no words.
He played the song at the Oscars.
Yeah.
So there's a full circle.
Speaking of Academy Award winning performances, Kirk, I understand you wrote a book.
Yes, I did. And I think it would actually make a great film, a film adaptation. It's called.
Do you know what's coming up?
What?
Father's Day.
Oh, that'd be a great present. And you can get Chavo Guerrero Instant Classic. It's about Chavo Guerrero Sr. So check that out on Amazon. There will be a lot of other things coming up. Hey, we're doing another hockey committee. Actually, our first hockey committee. Brad, you know how you were so bummed that you couldn't be part of that football committee where we look at who we think should be in the Football Hall of Fame?
When it comes to sports ball, I'm very sad when I'm not involved.
Yes. Well, here's something else you won't be involved in because I have a feeling you'll be busy that day.
Very sad.
Yes. We're going to be looking at the Hockey Hall of Fame, and we put together a group, and we're going to say, hey, who should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame this year? I'm going to tell you, along with my crew that I've assembled from all around the Buchnerverse.
Jazz hands.
Hate that. There's that.
It's the Buchnerverse.
Yes. Also, check out the weekly show, the Hall of Fame show with Evan Nolan and myself, where we look at Hall of Fame related news. That's what we do. And Vinny Lospminuso shows up every now and then, and he tells us who he thinks should be in various Halls of Fame. You know who he just did the last time? It's just up now.
What did he do?
Frank Zamboni. What do you think he invented?
The Zamboni. Is he Canadian?
No, he's not.
He's Canadian.
Go.
He's Italian.
Well, Vinny.
I thought a Canadian invented the Zamboni.
No.
I'm sad.
He's got to be Italian with a name like Zamboni.
Well, maybe his background is, but Mr. Zamboni is American, and he is not in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And Vinny tells us why he should be, and I have to agree with him on that.
I would agree with him even without knowing Vinny's argument.
There's really not much of an argument. It's like he created the most important
thing.
He
revolutionized the ice.
Yeah. He invented the most entertaining part of hockey.
You know who else should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame? The guy that put the loonie in the ice at the Olympics.
Wasn't that one of the players who actually did that?
No, it was the ice maker.
Was the ice
maker. Whoever invented the little bum 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 bum
bum bum bum bum bum.
Well, all that and much more at nonhallofame.com. Check that site out. Hey, why haven't you? You should. Also, hey, have you voted on the United States Athletic Hall of Fame? Guess who created that? I did. Because nobody else thought of it.
Buchnerverse. The Buchnerverse.
See, that I like. I don't do jazz hands. I put a lot of thought into this.
The more you know.
Why is it a flying
C? Is that where I ripped it off?
Yes, it's where you ripped it off of.
Why is it a flying C though? Like K is your first initial, B is your second initial, yet you have a flying C.
I didn't know I was doing that either.
I think it's more
No,
supposed
no,
to be
no,
like,
no. Wait a minute, no, that's not what it is. It's 2 fingers up and then like that.
Oh,
chewing the pig.
ooh.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Ooh.
Wait a minute.
Why is there
God
an
damn it.
L?
Okay, you know what? Let's just stop this because you're just gonna insult
So,
me.
but live long, don't bother prospering.
I hate you all. I want you to know that. Thank you all for
Andrea, you
listening.
need to show the audience that little thing again.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well,
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
stay safe, everyone.